Many professions are both easy to describe and simple to understand. Mine is neither, since I focus on mental programming, emotional responses, and behavioural patterns. I'm fascinated by the way our thoughts, feelings, and actions link together, and how often they trip each other up. For the last 15 years, I've helped my clients unravel knots and design internal blueprints for success and rapid transformation. Yet whenever I talk about the 5S-to-Success system or the esoteric techniques I employ, I encounter the same objections, which fall into 4 categories. Firstly, is it brainwashing, mind control, psychology, counselling? Then there must be an easier or quicker way. Can't I just take a pill? Sometimes I get, that sounds weird, spiritual, occult, off limits. And finally, how can you be sure it'll work for me? I'm not like your other clients, you know. Happily, a single approach counters them all: how the mind works. Successful habits, winning behaviours, and productive thinking patterns all begin at the same point, in the mind. I'm sure you already know we actually have 2 minds, the conscious and the unconscious. Now, the conscious mind is the thinking, logical or rational mind. It can concentrate on my voice, watch the slides on the screen, focus on the red dot, and at the same time notice the hard seat beneath your bottom. The conscious mind is clever. It can process 7 bytes of information every second. All learning enters via the conscious mind. When you first acquire a skill, you really have to think about it. Can you remember your first time behind the steering wheel of a car? If, like me, it was a manual car, you probably spent valuable brain power in the beginning, carefully reflecting on the gear shift mechanism and coordinating a clutch movement into the bargain. Yet once you've learned how to drive, you can change gear without looking, without thinking, without paying attention at all. You can even get to where you're going without remembering how you got there, thanks to the unconscious mind. It's much bigger, sort of like a huge storage cabinet. The unconscious mind files away everything you've ever learned or experienced. It processes automatic body functions like your heart beating or your kidneys filtering fluid. It also stores your beliefs, emotions, coping mechanisms and habits, ready to run them as required. Whereas the conscious mind can process 7 bytes of information every single second, the unconscious can process 2 million. This marriage of minds is truly phenomenal. The conscious makes all the choices. It can also string several decisions together to create a habit or a functional routine, which is stored in the unconscious. Think about your toothbrush. Do you pick it up each morning and ponder, left or right, top or bottom, up and down or across? Of course you don't. You just start brushing, because that routine is already in place. You approved it long ago. Now you use it daily without another thought. That's how we do all of our habits, good or bad. We simply zone out on automatic pilot. Routine is effortless. On average, 50 to 70% of our daily behaviour is automatic. We use mind patterns such as routines, procedures and habits to simplify those decisions we must make regularly. To make matters worse, most of the mind patterns we use our entire life long are actually in place by the age of 7. And if that weren't bad enough, we mostly copy these patterns from other people, like those who raised us, which is what you'd expect from kids less than 7. Now, I'm not just talking about patterns for toothbrushing. We also copy emotional responses for expressing joy, anger, or grief. We copy coping mechanisms for managing stress. And most importantly, we copy the behaviours we use for getting what we want. Bottom line, your mind today is probably running patterns belonging to other people, meaning your life blueprint actually dates back 20, 30 or even 40 years. Bit awkward? Automation is the brain's shortcut to stress-free or mindless living. It's designed to avoid overwhelm. Here's a short process overview. Actual reality, real events or what happens on the outside are run through your internal filters, and this generates your personal perception or mind picture. This is your view, your snapshot of the event, the way you think things were, which is how two people in the exact same situation can give very different accounts of what happens. Now, your own mind pictures about things lead you to feel a certain way about what happens, which in turn determines your behaviour or response. So let's take a concrete example. Say you meet a stray dog in the park. Depending on your prior dog experiences, what you already know about canines, and the patterns your early carers exhibited around dogs, you could act in a variety of ways towards this stray. You may fuss it and want to take it home. You might walk straight past and ignore it completely. Or you could chase it away before it has a chance to bite you. In your head, you unconsciously label everything. These meanings are not necessarily true, but they help you make sense of your world, and they also link your patterns together. The result is that in any other people situation which causes you similar feelings to this one, you will repeat your dog response. I do hope it's clear that all behaviour is driven by our feelings. All our feelings are caused by our thoughts or mind pictures, and we create these internal images and meanings based on patterns that we've copied at an early age. To develop successful habits, winning behaviours and productive thinking patterns in later life, the starting point is your internal setup, because it defines your mind patterns and creates your life routines. I'm repeatedly asked to untangle intricate patterns, trigger new responses, and ultimately raise the bar on exceptional performance. And to answer this need, I created the 5S-to-Success system. Now that you understand more about how your mind works, you may want to experience the 5S-to-Success transformation for yourself. So join me in the next video, where I'll be demoing the release technique I use. I'll also be giving you the opportunity to try it without charge or obligation. Yeah, I'm nice like that.